A lot of people think they're bad with money. But the truth is, most households are barely staying afloat even before they make a single financial mistake. Once the essentials are paid, talking about rent, groceries, gas, and utilities, there's almost nothing left. No breathing room, no cushion, no margin for error. And without any savings buffer, even the smallest disruption becomes a crisis. A flat tire, a surprise medical bill, a broken appliance. It's no wonder so many Americans are stuck living paycheck to paycheck, not because they're irresponsible, but because there's simply no system in place protecting them. Yet, here's the good news. Households that follow even the simplest budgeting method and save even a small amount consistently are far more financially secure. They're able to meet their needs, plan for their goals, save for their dreams, and build the kind of life they actually want, not just the one they're trying to survive. They bounce back from emergencies faster. They experience less stress. They feel more in control instead of feeling controlled by their expenses. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to walk you through one of the easiest, cleanest, and most beginner-friendly budgeting systems available. It works whether you earn a little, a lot, or somewhere in between. And by the end of this lesson, you'll know exactly how to use it to create real financial breathing room in your life. Before we start, just a quick reminder. Our channel explains money in a simple, easy way, so anyone can understand it. And it's all free. If you'd like to support us, please subscribe and tap the bell so you don't miss the next video. Let's begin by understanding the problem we're trying to solve. In the United States, the average household earns just over $100,000 before taxes and spends a little over $78,000 per year. On paper, that looks fine. It looks like there should be plenty of room to save. But every year, millions of Americans end up with little to nothing left over. And this problem keeps getting worse. Recent reports show that 67% of Americans are now living paycheck to paycheck. That means 2 out of every 3 people you pass on the street are one unexpected bill away from financial stress. The reality is even more alarming when you look at emergency savings. A major national survey found that many adults can't comfortably cover a $400 emergency without borrowing or using credit. Think about that for a moment. A single flat tire or a medical copay is all it takes to destabilize an entire household. And while the averages suggest that American households should have about $22,000 left after expenses, those numbers are misleading. The data is heavily skewed. Higher income households save large amounts, which pulls the average upward. But many middle and lower income families don't experience that leftover money at all. Their budgets are already stretched, and without a clear plan, every pay increase or small leftover gets absorbed by rising prices, unexpected costs, and day-to-day living. As a result, the $22,000 left on paper doesn't reflect the reality most households face. According to a survey by Self Financial, 12% of Americans have absolutely no money left after paying essential bills each month. Another 28% have only $1 to $250 remaining. That isn't budgeting space, that's survival mode. And because of that, only a little more than half of Americans say they have enough savings to cover 3 months of expenses. Meanwhile, the country's personal savings rate continues to hover at around 4 to 5%. That's nowhere near enough to provide real financial security. So if all of this is happening at such a large scale, the real question becomes this: how do you break out of the paycheck to paycheck cycle when everything feels tight already? The answer is surprisingly simple. You start by creating structure. You create a system that tells your money where to go instead of letting your expenses pull you in every direction. And one of the best starting points for beginners is the 50-30-20 method. The 50-30-20 rule is one of the most widely recommended budgeting systems because it's simple, flexible, and easy to maintain. You don't have to track every little purchase. You don't have to carry around a spreadsheet. You don't have to micromanage your life. This method organizes your finances into 3 clear categories. Half of your income goes toward needs, 30% goes toward wants, and the remaining 20% goes toward savings and debt repayment. That's it. 3 buckets, 1 straightforward system. And unlike complicated methods that fall apart the moment life gets busy, this one is designed to help you stay consistent even when things get chaotic. Let's see how the 50-30-20 method works in practice using real numbers from the average U.S. household. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the median household income in 2024 was $83,730, which translates into roughly $7,000 per month. Housing is the largest expense at $2,120 per month, which is about 30% of monthly income. Transportation comes next at $1,098 per month, roughly 16%, and food costs average $832 per month, or 12%. Add insurance, healthcare, and other essential bills, and it becomes clear how quickly necessities consume your income. Here's where the 50-30-20 framework helps. 50% of your take-home pay should go to essentials. On the average household income, that's around $3,489 per month. Ideally, your housing, transportation, food, insurance, and other required expenses should fit within that $3,489 limit. Looking at the averages, housing alone at $2,120 already takes up most of that allocation. This shows why many households feel squeezed. The 50-30-20 rule doesn't fail here. It simply tells you where to focus. Maybe refinance insurance, adjust transportation, or manage food costs. So your essentials fit into 50% of your income. Next, 30% of your income goes to wants or discretionary spending. For the average household, that's about $2,093 per month. This covers the fun stuff: dining out, entertainment, hobbies, subscriptions, travel, anything that adds enjoyment without being essential. But here's the important part. When you compare that 30% limit to how the typical US household actually spends, most people are well below that amount. The needs category is too dominant. In many other cases, however, this is often where budgets silently break. Small lifestyle choices stacking up until they crowd out savings. Seeing how your real spending compares to that 30% target helps you identify where adjustments can create instant breathing room. Finally, 20% of your income should go towards savings and debt repayment. For the average US household, that's approximately $1,395 per month. This is where you build an emergency fund, pay down debt beyond minimum payments, save for a future purchase, or invest for retirement. Most households fall well below this savings target. Even if your actual income or spending doesn't match these exact numbers, these percentages give a clear guideline. They help you see where your money should go and allow you to adjust in a practical, achievable way. The beauty of the 50-30-20 method is that it provides clarity. You're no longer guessing where your money should go or stressed about living paycheck to paycheck. Instead, you see clearly what needs to be covered, what you can enjoy, and what must be saved. But how do you actually implement the 50-30-20 method in your own life? It starts with awareness. Take 1 month's worth of expenses and categorize them into needs, wants, and savings or debt payments. Don't worry about being perfect. Your goal is simply to see where your money is currently flowing. After that, compare your spending to the 50-30-20 structure. Most people discover they're overspending in one of two areas. Either their needs are consuming too much of their income, or their wants are filling every spare dollar before savings even get a chance. Once you know your imbalance, you can fix it in small steps, and those small steps matter more than people realize. If your needs are too high, you might negotiate bills, refinance insurance, adjust housing choices, cut back on subscriptions, or find ways to reduce variable essentials like groceries or transportation. If your wants are too high, you start with micro changes, like setting a weekly spending cap or removing one frequent purchase that drains your budget. If your savings are too low, you automate them. You set up automatic transfers that move money into your savings or debt payments the moment you get paid. Automation prevents temptation. It turns saving into a default action instead of an afterthought. And here's the most important part. You don't have to follow the 50-30-20 rule perfectly for it to work. Even if you start with 60-20-20 or 70-20-10, the discipline of following a structure will make you more financially secure. A household that saves even a small amount consistently becomes far more resilient over time. Emergencies become manageable instead of catastrophic. Money starts working for you instead of against you. And for the first time, you start to feel in control. The 50-30-20 method is ideal for people who want simplicity. It's great for beginners who feel overwhelmed by traditional budgeting, and it works well for anyone with a stable or somewhat predictable income. It's a solid system for people who want a budget they can actually follow, and especially for those who want to build savings but haven't figured out where to start. But it's not perfect for everyone. If you live in an area where housing costs take up more than half your income, the 50% essentials category may be unrealistic from the start. And if your monthly income is unstable, like freelancers, gig workers, or commission earners, 50-30-20 can break down quickly. Some months, 50% of your paycheck might not even cover your rent. In cases like these, a paycheck-by-paycheck budgeting system works far better because it adjusts to whatever you earn each time money comes in. By now, you've seen the real problem. You've seen why budgeting matters and why so many households feel stretched. And you've also seen the real benefit of having a system. Budgeting gives you control. It helps you avoid surprises, reduce stress, build savings, and finally feel confident about where your money is going. Now it's your turn. If you try this method for the next 30 days, even in a small way, you'll start noticing the shift. You'll feel more in control of your money. You'll start saving instead of running out. You'll make real progress toward your goals and dreams. And you'll finally have a system that helps you build financial stability, one decision at a time. If this was insightful, feel free to like or subscribe. If you think we could improve, leave your honest thoughts in the comments. Your support, in whatever form, means the world to us. See you in the next one.